Hey everybody, it's mid-April and I've already had 2 customers call me, ask me if I'm still doing swamp coolers. And of course we are. We have reproductions, we have originals, and we're still doing restorations. And today I'm going to take you through this restoration, which was a very difficult one, and tell you what we had to do.
Vintage swamp cooler.com. Vintage swamp cooler.com. Vintage swamp cooler.
Okay, I like to do this pretty often. This is another swamp cooler we've got in stock for restoration. A customer sent this to us to do a filter and anything else it needed to get this thing restored and functioning. So I like to unbox these on camera so that everyone can take a look at what we're doing here. Interesting. So this is a little bit stripped down. I don't know if looks like they sanded it pretty hard with a wire wheel. So it needs a prop rod. Someone's been in here. That's not supposed to have a rivet there. So someone's kind of messed with the front at some point. Missing a screen. Oh yeah, you can see the paint's peeling right off of it. Interesting. Very interesting paint situation. I think this was probably painted at one point at a body shop, and they just went super heavy with the paint. Looks like the paint is over the rivets, so I bet a body shop tried to fix this and fought the front end off, which then front ends are welded on, they don't come off. So don't take the front ends off if you have one of these. So I don't know what the best course of action to fix this is, because this is gonna just look real rough. It's gonna be real tough to get this smooth. So I don't know what we're gonna do about that. And the paint's cracking because they put on such thick layer of paint. And there's no pull cord, so it's definitely gonna get opened up and the pull cord replaced. The spring is also loose in it. So we'll probably do a new filter to it, fix this rod so it's not spinning, and I don't know what we're going to do about this paint. This is in rough shape, so we're going to do our best to restore this. Other than the paint and the pop rivets, the body's in decent shape. Yeah, it looks like they sprayed it with both caps off and then put this front cap on and then resealed it. You can see some, looks like some sealant. So they tried to seal that from the outside. It's supposed to be sealed from the inside. So, and this cap is also, because of all the paint, cap's not functioning either. It's supposed to slide up on this track here. So it's got some work to be done. We're gonna do our best to get this thing going and working like new.
Vintage swamp cooler.com.
I don't know if that's black mold or black paint, but obviously you can see how thin that filter is. Not very efficient. Gross old filter. So that goes in the trash. Okay, well, we tried hitting that paint with a paint stripper, and it didn't even touch any of that thick automotive paint. We even tried sanding down the outer clear coat and thought that maybe it would get underneath layers, but even with the clear coat on, it won't touch that thick automotive paint. So now we're gonna have to go up a level and hit it with a sandblaster. This will definitely take care of it. We've got 2 bags of Black Beauty. Let's get to sandblasting. So we're about to sandblast this body, and I'm noticing that this, I mean, we know that this end cap has been riveted on, but You see how this isn't connected? All these spot welds are supposed to be connected, and we're not going to go ahead and spot weld all those, but we do need to drill these out and pop this end cap off so that we can sandblast underneath there and then reseal it, because this whole edge is supposed to be sealed. And if that's loose there, it's not sealed there, so there's no way to guarantee that it's actually sealed here and around this side, which it needs to be. We've also got a rivet here, which is probably not sealed. So we're gonna have to take this off so that we can guarantee that this cooler is watertight and is gonna hold water again. All right, we're all suited up. Let's get sandblasting. Okay, this is day 3 of blasting. We've got the intake all done, and we're getting close on the body. We just got the bottom left to do. And then we'll be done with the sandblasting, and we can prime it and start reassembling it, because the customer is going to take this back primed and send it to his body guy for paint matching to his car. Okay, so we finally got front end cap welded back on. We got the holes that the last body guy put in here welded up, and we even got the inside sealed back up so that it is watertight. Now we can go ahead and spray paint it with some primer. Okay, so this is all done. This entire swamp cooler has been sandblasted in the intake cone. The whole thing, even underneath this lip. We also have the fill cap sandblasted and primed, the back end cap sandblasted and primed. The only thing we didn't sandblast down is the inner cap, because that's completely hidden, so there's no sense in sanding that down and repainting, because it's completely hidden, and it's galvanized, so we don't want to take that galvanization off. This is the bulkhead. We've got that ready to go back in, and then this is the basket all ready to be made. We've also got a new rope and a new pole ready to go on there. So now we can start reassembly. By putting the bulkhead in, winding the cord around the basket, sending it through the pulley in here and out front, putting in the back end cap, sealing that on, and then priming the spring so that it's spring tensioned on the rope so it actually cycles over. We'll test that. We got to get this cap in first. That slides up in here and then gets slid through these slots from the inside. So we'll do that next, and then we'll start our reassembly and get this thing closed up and get the back end cap sealed, so we can do the bulkhead end cap sealed, and then we can put the back end cap on. And then I don't know if this guy wants some accessories. We'll probably put on a bracket kit which goes around here so it can attach to his roof. One modification we did is this used to have a prop rod, and the customer wanted the prop rod removed, so that's been removed. And this thing was covered. One of the reasons I figured it was painted so thickly is there were some dents here and a couple of holes here. And you can kind of see there's like 1 or 2 small dents on top. So the other thing his body guy is going to have to do is skim coat this area. We popped most of these dents out and welded up these holes, but I'll have to skim coat this area, skim coat these tiny dents, that tiny dent right there, and also skim coat the spot where the prop rod was attached, because there's a divot from the factory where that gets attached. So a little skim coat from the body shop guy, and then he can paint it the color of the car. So we just gotta reassemble it and screw this back end cap on and seal it with some adhesive, and then get this thing finally built and we can get it back to the customer. There, now we've got the fill cap in. Slid through these 2 slots, and now it functions as it should. When I got it, it was actually, there was so much paint on this it wouldn't slide up. It was all bent. So we've got this straightened out. We've got that fill hole repaired. And here's the inside. You can see the inside is sealed up. Sometimes that seal there breaks, so you want to make sure that's there and just recoat it with adhesive if you're unsure. If you're trying to get your baffle in, this is the baffle that makes it so the water doesn't slosh around as bad. The easiest way to do it is to hook it in the top there and then push it in until it goes behind its lock. You can see it started there, so now we just got to do it down bottom. There. Now the baffle's in place, and we can move on. We got our fill cap in place, our baffles in place, so now we can move on to installing the basket. Whoops. Okay, so we're ready to reinstall the basket. We've got it attached to the rod, so it's spring loaded. It doesn't have to be tight because you're gonna have to adjust this later, but we've got the rope in the basket with a knot on the inside here, so it won't pull out. It then goes in here and goes through the spot right here for the pulley, and then we've got caulking all the way around. Up on the top half isn't as important as the bottom half, and that way when this lid, this bulkhead sandwiches in here, it's going to seal it, and you can add some sealant on top to make sure this is watertight, because both of these ends down in there and up here have to be watertight so this thing holds water. Make sure you get a washer on the front there, and then once you get it part way in, you got to get it through that hole there in the middle of the vent, in the middle of the intake. Okay, we've got the bulkhead hammered down into this groove. It sits in this groove here. And we're gonna have to run a bead of caulk around here to make sure that no fluid comes out of this crack here. We can put our 3 screws in, and one of the screws, if you notice, is here below the water line. So you gotta cover this screw with sealant too, so that water doesn't come out of that screw. And then we'll move on to the tightening. Okay, there we got the back end cap sealed up, screws sealed up all the way around, that gap sealed up. Well, not at the top because it doesn't matter at the top, it's just mainly the bottom third of it that needs to be sealed up, and we went all the way to halfway up. So we can go ahead now and preload this. We'll put a knot in this so it can't suck all the way in, and then we'll wind. What you do is you'll loosen this nut, and then you put vice grips on the shaft on the front, and you twist the whole basket. If you're looking down on it, you twist the basket clockwise, which winds the rope up in and over the basket until the rope is taut against the knot that you tie here, and then you tighten that knot down and you'll have set your recoil. Just about all done. You get your back end cap sealed on and the screws sealed. You've got the recoil. All set, so I just got to put this end cap on and we're done. As you can see, we had to add this top bar so it can mount to the window. It was missing that. Some of them don't have it, but got that on there. As you can see, we've got these boxes special made to fit the swamp coolers perfectly. He's going to get a set of instructions on how to use the swamp cooler and mount it, and he's also going to need a screen for it. So new screen, new top bar, set of instructions. Get this packed the rest of the way up and get it sent off to the customer. There's another swamp cooler restored and a fresh filter inside, ready to go back to its customer. If you like this video, make sure you're subscribed if you're not already. Give this video a thumbs up if it helped you guys. Let me know what you thought in the comments below. I'll catch you guys next time.